Yes guys, if this is your first time here, my name is Bobby. I make primarily fitness content on this channel, but I did live in Japan for 5 years, so I like to share some of my experiences there. In this video, I'm going to talk about where I was buying protein, vitamins, supplements from whilst I was in Japan. I was living in Tokyo. I've got 5 options for you. Number 1 is by far the best, so stick around for that and let's get started. So number 5, guys, if you are just visiting Japan, do not worry because the convenience stores in Tokyo, in all of Japan, are fully stocked with quick fixes of protein. That's what I would call them, quick fixes. You just want to get like a protein drink on board after a workout. If you're lucky enough to have a hotel with a gym, I want to look into that. When I first arrived in Tokyo, which was 2016, it was so much different. There'd be a little line of healthy chocolate bars above the bread area, the bread section. In that, there would be some breakfasty bars and there would be a couple of protein options. They'd say protein in big English letters. Nowadays you go in there and there's a whole section dedicated to it. It's brilliant, and some of them don't taste that great. Some of them are absolutely delicious. So if you're off to Tokyo for a trip, short term, you'll be able to get those fixes in. There's also plenty of drinks in the fridges. Also, don't forget to check out the pharmacies because they also have a good selection. Usually they have their own stuff, and in some of the pharmacies it's a little bit cheaper. Although, to be honest, one of the nice things about Japan is they don't really overcharge for things as much as you might think. A reputation for being a super expensive place, but I live in Thailand now, and if I want an imported protein bar, I'm going to be paying big bucks. Whereas in Japan, because they focus on products that are locally produced, the price is usually reasonable, and again, they're producing a wide variety, which is something that they weren't doing 7 or 8 years ago. Alright guys, number 2 is an actual area that you might want to check out. Just move to Tokyo if you're going to be there long term. You might want to make an afternoon of it. Uedobashi Station. This is the station, if you've ever been through on the Chuo line, where you can see a roller coaster. A little theme park, it's got Tokyo Dome, they're the main attractions. Opposite side of the station, there's this area which is dedicated to fitness stores, New Japan Wrestling, if you're a fan of wrestling, because I certainly am. You can find all sorts of wrestling memorabilia there. A lot of Muay Thai gyms there, and it's also got a lot of shops that sell fighting equipment, gym equipment, etc. And within these shops, they do sell supplements. Prices, not the best, in my opinion. I'm going to give you a cheaper alternative in a moment, but there is variety. There's good variety, and I'll be honest, back in the UK where I'm from, I had this supplement superstore, and each time I visited, which was about once a month, they'd have these new products, so there'd always be something kind of exciting if you're into supplementation. I found that in Tokyo yet, but this area is probably your best bet where you're gonna find it. I found about 4 or 5 stores there, some good products, picked up some protein, etc. Nothing really blew me away, and all of the import stuff, all the brands you're used to, like Optimum Nutrition, they're all a little bit overpriced in my opinion, but these guys need to make their money, I suppose. At Suidobashi Station, you walk out of the main exit, and where you would usually turn right to go towards Tokyo Dome, that's where most people are going, you're gonna turn left, and you're going to get lost in the back streets. It's a real old school traditional vibe around there as well, so it's just a nice place to spend the afternoon. And if you've got your map available to you so you don't get completely lost, you can also walk through to Akihabara, which is one of the most famous tourist areas, so you could sort of sandwich them together, I think. Number 3, guys, this is where I primarily bought my protein, and there's a reason why. It's Amazon Japan. Prices are reasonable. You can pay cash on delivery, which you're probably thinking, like, why would you want to do that? Japan is very much a cash society still. Now, if you've got a credit card, of course your credit card will work, but for me, I was in a situation where certain rules when you open bank accounts where you can't get Visas or MasterCard straight away, so sometimes it's inconvenient. You don't want to be using your UK credit card or wherever it is you're from. So usually the cash on delivery system is quite convenient in the sense that they'll give you a time, they'll give you a place, usually your house, maybe your office, and you can just give them the cash there and then. These are mainly local products. They do have a couple of international brands on there, but to be honest, again, overpriced. I think that these guys are probably buying from my number 1 place and then trying to make a little bit of money, which again, just life, innit? It's just life, just the way it works. Nice thing about Amazon Japan is they've got an English service if you don't speak Japanese. The delivery is usually pretty efficient, although to be honest, I do remember me and my wife ordered some protein And it took about 8 days to arrive, which was really frustrating, but that was a one-off occasion. Decent variety, local products. The price, especially if you're working with the current conversion rate, is really, really cheap. 2, the shop version of Amazon Japan, you might want to call it, is Don Quixote. This is a shop for absolutely everyone that sells absolutely everything. They are scattered throughout Japan. They vary in size. There's a massive one in Shibuya, massive one in Shinjuku. It's got a little bird outside, a really cute little mascot bird. If you see that bird, if you're new to Japan, if you're a little bit curious, but maybe because it's such a big building, you're a bit intimidated, don't be. Just head on in there. You'll be able to find whatever you want. Beauty products, souvenirs, crappy clothes that say Tokyo across the front, things like that. But they also always have a good little supplement section. Again, it's mainly the local products, although recently they have had a lot of Optimum Nutrition. Optimum Nutrition seems to be the one international brand that you can get pretty easily. And again, the prices vary. So they kind of have these set prices, usually about 3,000 yen for a kilo of whey protein, which I don't think is too bad. If you have the option to shop around a little bit, they always have different sales in different shops. So I usually buy the 3-kilo bag when I go, and in certain places it'll be 10,000 yen, but if you shop around you might get it for 7,000 yen. So if you've got time is a virtue. It really is worth checking a couple of these bad boys out and seeing what is available in which particular branch. And last but not least, guys, number 1, and when I say number 1, this is way, way ahead of all of the other options, especially when it comes to supplements, because I like a nice pre-workout. It's iHerb. I've been using iHerb now for over 10 years, ever since I was living in Korea. It's a global international company. You've probably already heard it if you're watching this video, but if you've not, it sells everything to do with health and beauty, including protein, supplements, vitamins, etc. You can get some nice skin products on there, or even some nice beard oil. The prices are reasonable. I heard that the way they operate is that they have dispatch centers around the world, so the shipping is incredibly cheap. It's an American company, probably not shipping these products from America. They've probably got somewhere in Asia, because you are paying, no, you're not paying, free shipping. You spend a certain amount, which, let's face it, if you're going to buy supplements online, you probably will. It's nothing unreasonable either. It's usually like you pay $40 or something like that. Usually caps out at about $120, 12,000 yen, probably because of the import taxes. And it's really super fucking efficient as well. Definitely within a week. I've never had to wait over a week for one of my iHerb orders, and usually they do surprise me. So if I order on a Sunday night, I'm usually not surprised to receive it by like a Wednesday, which is great, because when you're running out of pre-workout, you know that panic. It's like, what am I going to do? It's not even worth going to the gym if I can't take a pre. Range of brands on there is impressive. Prices are good. Everything's efficient. I've never had any trouble with them. So I think you can do cash on delivery with them as well if you want, but for them, I usually just pay on my card, because they'll leave it outside your door and it's there waiting for you get home. iHerb, check it out. I think my code is LDW137. Not that I've used it for 6 months, because I'm living back in Thailand now and it's not really a good option here, unfortunately, but check it out. It is the best option available. Thanks for watching this one, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and until the next one, bye bye.